I have walked through that door. Carson donated like 5K to Alvius. Okay, so I don't know what the exact details are of Carson. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what it is. But in situations like this, when your closest friends or your closest colleagues immediately fucking are the first people to be like, yeah, that was fucking wrong and fucked up, they often know more than someone like myself does on the outside, on the edges, looking in. And they certainly know a lot more than motherfuckers in the chat. Okay? I know you guys, it doesn't matter how parasocial you are. It doesn't matter how much you feel you know. Okay? I don't care about the 2-year difference between a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old. I've already mentioned that multiple times. If it's just that, if that's the extent of the crime, then that's not a fucking crime at all. It's not even remotely criminal. You're a psychopath if you consider that to be like abhorrent, like a 17 versus 19-year-old. That's insane. Okay? Like that is just insane. But that's not what the whole purpose is. Or that's not the whole reason. No, don't say it's technically illegal. Oh, you're saying it's technically illegal. Okay. Because it's not even technically illegal. It is literally legal. Okay. But the only part that makes it kind of creepy and kind of wrong. Why are you trying to paint the best case scenario when you don't know what really happened? I'm not, which is why I specified the only reason why I don't talk about this as much or haven't talked about this as much is because his friends are the ones who knows a lot more that immediately fucking shut this shit down. So that is significantly different. Okay. That's a lot more different than just like someone being like, I was 17 and, you know, Carson was, 19. Having news from a 17-year-old is not legal, Pepega. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. And also, that's a fucking idiotic law if there's a fucking 18-year-old and a 17-year-old that are dating and they're swapping nudes with one another and they're just in fucking high school. Like, the person who sent, the 17-year-old who sent the fucking nude to their 18-year-old boyfriend would still be legally responsible for the distribution of child pornography, which is precisely why there are like literal fucking there's literal leniency in situations like that. So stop literally just talking about the fucking law as though you are, you know, as though you're I don't know, you're unable to interpret the context. It doesn't matter though, because the context inherently here is still fucked up. Considering the fan versus the 17-year-old fan versus the content creator dynamic, okay? Let's see what's going on here. I want to hear what Jay Schlatt had to say.
I hate twit-mongers and I hate notepad screenshots, and this is really the only serious outlet I've ever had to talk about stuff. So it felt kind of appropriate to put it here. Around late February, early March, Carson told the Lunch Club guys, as well as a bunch of close friends of his at the time, that he had been sexting his fans. He explained that he had exchanged photos with the 17-year-old while he was 19, and that he was done with it. He hadn't done it in months. He was ashamed of what he had done, and all that stuff. Some context for you. Early 2020 was when Carson was at the lowest point in his life. He was extremely depressed. Little did we actually know why, but I knew he had been struggling with imposter syndrome when it came to YouTube and social media and that kind of stuff. And that was something I could relate to in a pretty big way. So I was there for him. You know, I would be in calls with him all the time, talking about anxiety, mental health, what it means to have this job, and how not to let it drive you up the wall, all that kind of stuff. And in that time, I got extremely close to him. I wouldn't call it best friends, but he was up there. And right after Carson had told us the truth, the Kate situation happened. And, you know, regardless of what we felt about the Kate situation, we saw Carson's mental state.
Okay, I got to stop for a second. Is Jay Schlatt actually good at FPSs, or is he just like playing something? Thank you, Go Green, for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. Or is he? I mean, he got like 3 headshots in a row. That was
decline even more. And it was to the point that we genuinely thought his life could be in danger. And I felt like I needed to be there for him. And that's why I stuck with him. And that's why people like Josh and Connor stuck with him. In March and April, we'd be in calls with him almost every night till the sun came up, trying to help him through what he was going through. And I just want to say, like, I never condoned what he had done. I remember a call with him and Josh where both of us basically said to him, like, dude, if this behavior continues, we're done. You know? Our close friend had fucked up, but he was also in a very dangerous place, and we felt like we had to be there for him. You know, and in doing that, we could give him the guidance and the company he needed to help him get out of this depressive state he was in, and help him grow and become a better person. We talked him into seeing a therapist. We helped him form a better relationship with social media, because he'd check his indirects constantly, and he'd have a tab open of every different site that he would just refresh. We talked him out of doing the impulsive shit he told us he was thinking of doing, like deleting all the social media and posting about Kate. And obviously some of those attempts were less successful than others. But so much time spent with the guy, just trying to be good friends for him, and trying to do what we thought was the right thing to do. But a few weeks ago, I started having some conversations with some of Carson's closest friends, including his former roommates. And in my discussions with them, I heard some things that suggested that Carson wasn't improving in the areas that he should have.
Guys, stop making fun of his gameplay, okay? Just focus on what he's saying.
Showing signs of continuing some of his inappropriate behavior. And apparently,
okay, this is what I was gonna say. So if I remember, it was like not one-off. That it wasn't a one-off according to his closest friends. Okay? That was why I was like, that's why I didn't want to fucking have like a really strong take on this.
1 year.
Other than like, you know, people fucking losing their minds and saying that it's like literally rape if someone is 19 years old and they're talking to someone who's 17 years old, which I don't think it is. I think that's psychotic. But having said that, the power dynamic between like a fan changes things, especially when someone is also underage on top of that. Like, I'm not... They said it was grooming, not rape. Underage fan is a serious problem? Yes. I agree. Would it be fine if they were the same age? Depending on the situation, yes, I think it would be. Bro, if he's 19 and his fan is 19 years old, like, and they meet on a fucking dating app or something, well, that's a little different. You know what I mean? Like, what are you just going to scan for everyone who's like a fucking fan of yours to make sure? It's just the combination of all of that makes it weird. But that's not even the end part of this criticism. Okay? The actual thing that I usually look at in stories like this is repetition. Okay? Repetition, and also what like their closest friends are fucking saying and doing in a situation like this. They are the ones who what do you call it? They're the ones who called him out and said that there was more instances even after the original apology. Yeah. Do you understand? Which is why I was like, there's probably more to this. So I'm not going to have like a super strong opinion on this matter. I'm not going to come out with like a super strong take on this. Do you feel me?
Apparently this was happening while I was spending all this time trying to help him. And while he was saying that he was working on himself and that he was changing and that he hates the person he used to be. These conversations were really the ones that got me second guessing how genuine Carson had been to me and to others throughout this whole thing. I remember me and Connor were in Austin at the time, and over a long ass dinner, we just kind of put all the pieces together that we often ignored because of how close we were to him and because of how well he had always treated us. You know, there were always stories I'd hear from his roommates about how he treated them, and how he generally just acted that I glossed over, and I shouldn't have. Also, seeing the DMs he exchanged with some of the girls that have come forward.
This is what I mean. Like, they saw the fucking DMs and shit. You know what I mean? We have no idea. So if the people that saw the DMs and people that were like there for him in his worst moments, if those people are saying like, yeah, this shit's not good, this shit's fucked up, then it probably is. Okay? That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely fucking disgusting.
The DMs were posted? Well, not all of them. There's no shot that they were all posted.
Yesterday, I thought that all these encounters Carson had were very much, you know, spur of the moment mistakes that he regretted instantly. And that was very much the story that everybody was told. And knowing what we do now, it's simply just not the case. This was something he pursued. Looking back now, almost every step of the way, Carson tried to downplay what had actually happened. I remember a time when he even referred to the last.
The reality is, like, look, you're not in fucking high school, okay? You're not in high school with like your freshman girlfriend and you're a fucking senior, right? Stop making fun of his gameplay because he self-flashed, okay? You're not in high school with your like a senior. You're not a high school senior with your like freshman girlfriend. You shouldn't be fucking getting. You should not be having conversations that revolve around like getting fucking nudes when you're already a public profile. This is a fan of yours, and you know that they're underage. Like, just stop talking to people when they're underage, okay? Like, if they were simply fucking dating or something, if they started a conversation and they started dating and it went beyond that,
SMH.
I don't know. I mean, that could be one thing. PlayStation 1776. Also, there's a clear-cut difference between actively seeking out younger partners and happening once without you knowing they're underage. Yeah, that's another thing. And if they were, like I said, if there was more like young girls that he was talking to, seniors with freshman girlfriends are fucking nasty. Dude, shut up, dude. We're like, stop. Like, it doesn't have to be literally always the case. But like, you're insane at that point, man. Stop saying true. Stop. Guys. This is literally a fucking... We are trying to put black and white, hard-drawn lines on shit that the law has literally also tried to do. In an instance, in a case where it's like very much up to fucking context, and even then the law is not as clear-cut as you think it is. It's ridiculous, dude. This is... I don't know why every single time we have this conversation, chat turns into like a bunch of fucking weirdos that literally had no relationships or experiences when they were like 14 or something. Did you block out everything? Okay, did you literally block everything out of your fucking mind when you were at that age, or are you at that age and you're being a fucking weirdo? We're not talking about like a 30-year-old dating a fucking 17-year-old, okay? You dated a freshman 100%? In Turkey? You know who I dated when I was growing up in Turkey? My fucking right hand, you dumbass. Good luck, though. I'm glad you suspect that I dated a fucking freshman when I was a senior in high school. You absolute buffoon. No, I didn't get any pussy until I was in America, so you're a fucking idiot. You're literally wrong. I wish I had fucking girlfriends in high school. I did not.
Pride parade in my country today after hearing about 70F slurs. Good to be back in a safe space. Much love, chat and Hassan.
No need to keep relitigating this because every fucking time chat do be fucking dumbasses. Most of them are literally kids. Yeah, it's just like weird as hell. Like, and it doesn't even work that way. You can't like draw these lines. It's almost always it is situational, and additional context is needed. And the reason why I say that is because like people make it seem as though like there's going to be these like hard lines drawn. So what are you going to do? Are you going to fucking litigate every 19-year-old that has dated a 17-year-old? Like, is that what you're going to do? Or an 18-year-old that's dated a 16-year-old? Time to fucking prosecute and like throw them in jail? I don't understand. Like, what kind of fucking insane take is this? And for the people who think I'm defending Carson, I'm not. The sexting law is made to prevent loopholes of minor nude spreading? Absolutely. Yeah. Gen Z is better than your generation, Hassan. 2-year difference in a freshman and senior? Okay. 3-year difference, 4-year difference. So what, dude? 18 to 14 is wrong. It's fucking weird. Yes, it is definitely weird. But it doesn't even occur in that age range most of the time anyway. Like, where do we draw the fucking line as like at like kids dating one another? When is it acceptable? Do they have to be born on the same fucking day? Do they have to be born on like a couple months from one another? Do they have to be born like 1 year from one another? There is a law that actually at the very least like tries to fucking add some kind of chat I don't know about chat, but there are laws like the Romeo and Juliet laws specifically so that like, you know, people don't go to jail for liking one another or dating one another when they're younger. But we're not even having that conversation. Power dynamics, 18-year-old versus 14-year-old girl. Even then, it's like, again, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking situation is, man. What do you mean power dynamics, bro? What the fuck?
17-year-old in EU college dating a high schooler that's 16 and on slow.
It's so strange that like we loop all the way around as like leftists or progressives and go back to like fucking abstinence only education. Like you're pointing out like power dynamics. Okay, so like, hey, dude, actually, you're literally unable to fucking date if you are. You should never be able to have sex with anyone ever unless they are like in the same fucking making the same amount of money or in the same fucking category, born on the same fucking day. Okay? Fuck it, born from the same parent. You could only fuck your twin going forward. Like power dynamics what?
Finally reunited with the GF after a year and a half long distance can't watch stream for a few days hassle. Appreciate what you do.
Wow, such a bad take. Chad doesn't want to get into the nitty gritty of power dynamics and relationships. It's like ridiculous. Because on the one hand, you're like making an 18, you're losing sight of the fact that like an 18-year-old is literally not a fucking adult. They're legally an adult, but they're still functionally a fucking child with a baby brain. Okay? Like, you're making it seem as though like the 18-year-old is like an adult with a fucking 401k and the 14-year-old is like a little baby. And a 14-year-old is a little baby. Let's be real. 14-year-old is very young. But so is a fucking high school student, man.
Hey, first time tuning into the stream, damn sure gonna be
17 about to turn 18,
Bye.
turns 18, minors. Yeah. And we have completely moved on. We have completely moved on from the actual conversation that we were having, which is like the Call Me Carson situation. Because again, it's not about the actual situation itself, but it's more so the never-ending debates that chatters love having. Okay? Chatters love having this fucking debate. I mean, we literally got stunlocked a couple months ago, which as soon as I mention that, I'm sure it's gonna get back to it as well. Which is like, if you're fellas, if you're dating a short girl, or you're literally a pedophile, but no one wants to have that conversation. It's like you're robbing the personhood of women that are shorter. Like, it's crazy. If you're into Ariana Grande, that means you're a fucking pedophile. It's like always insane, especially because like I'm not a fucking libertarian by any means, okay? I'm not a goddamn libertarian by any means. Oh, what the fuck is happening? My internet is like pooping. And the problem here isn't necessarily the 19 to 17-year-old age difference, which is literally nothing. Like, it's nothing. I don't care. If you think that that is, like, significant, then you're crazy. But the problem itself is that it's a 17-year-old fan that he solicited nudes from. A 17-year-old fan that he solicited nudes from. There is potential repetition of that even after he apologized for it from other minors, allegedly. Okay? And that it happened over the course of multiple times, and that the person was a fan. That's the main concern that I have. The reason why people are mad at you is because you keep justifying grooming kids into thinking that the top of the ads at the each hour are completely fine. Like, there's people in here that are in pedophile power dynamics relationships. If that's the fucking cause for concern. Anyway, I got clapped there. Okay, yeah, I'm grooming all of you into thinking that this ad break is okay. Well, there is a way to make it more okay. If you subscribe, either for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. That's right. Or you can use an ad block or a VPN.
6 months.
Such a weird way to do an ad break, but Twitch Prime is free. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Generally speaking, an age difference of more than 4 years is seen as some subcategory of pedophilia when it comes to minors dating. 18 to 14 is weird. It is weird.
Peepo has tomato time.
What is this? Famous XKCD? Oh, the half your age plus 7 rule. Yeah. My argument is like, once you're 25, it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. There's no half your age plus 7. Once you're 25, it literally does not matter. I do not give a single fuck if a 25-year-old girl is dating like a 90-year-old dude. We all know what the fuck's going on there, okay? We know what the fuck's going on there. The only additional thing that like would make that tricky or weird is the actual coercive elements that could happen in a relationship like that, whether it's like your immediate boss or your employer or someone like that. Okay? But like, yeah, if someone is like, 25, it's a wrap. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna baby a 25-year-old woman at that point, okay? And you are ridiculous if that's what if you think that that's like fucked up or something. All the people who are freaking out in chat are 29 to 34-year-old DSA boys with 19-year-old girlfriends. When I was 15 years old and banging copious amounts of girls and exchanging news, it was always weird to even consider being girls with 1 or 2 years younger than me. It seems like a fucking my girlfriend was in Canada type beat right here. It's still pretty weird pretty weird if you date someone the same age as your children, even if they're over 20 to 25 years old. I mean, it's weird, but like I don't give a fuck about weird, dog. Okay, these are relationships. Yeah, there's plenty of weird shit that happens in relationships. I care more about like, is there some fucked up thing happening on top of that? Okay, yeah, of course it's weird if you're a 25-year-old woman and you're literally dating a fucking 90-year-old. I would go so far as to say that the 25-year-old woman is probably grooming the 90-year-old rather than the other way around, okay? Like, that's... The point is, it's about mental faculties and it's about development and it's about, like, how your brain grows and how susceptible you are to outside influence and coercion and what the material conditions are, or rather, not the material conditions, but what the external factors are that make something go from weird to like holy fucking shit that should be unacceptable and you should feel shame for it. You know what I mean? But ultimately it's still relationships, and relationships are very personal. Some of them are fucked up. We've all been in relationships. Some in the chat have been in relationships that are not good when they were younger. Some of them are currently in bad relationships and they immediately have a tendency to go, well, this resembles the shit relationship I had when I was fucking 17, so I think that this is nefarious. And sometimes it's not like that, okay? That's why I think it's like idiotic to go beyond like the additional context given in a lot of these circumstances. But as a rule of thumb, if you have a fucking underage minor fan, do not talk to them. Or do not talk to them beyond like, congratulations. If they're like sending you your fucking, if they're sending you their graduation photo about how they graduated high school like you guys do in my P.O. box. Okay, that's it. It's just common sense, common principle. My mom was 17 when my dad's like 25 and started dating. People freak out for nothing. How can you say an 18-year-old doesn't have power over a 14-year-old? You literally just acknowledge that his children, even a few years, can have major developmental differences. Yeah, that's true. But I'm still saying that it's, again, it could be situational. Okay, what if the fucking 14-year-old's literally about to be 15? Like, that's what I'm saying. We're not even having that conversation right now. Please stop going back to that, okay?
Hassle.
That's why I'm saying it's fucking situational, okay? It's still weird, yes. 4-year age difference at that age is significant. Because when you're 14, you're drastically different when you turn 15. Like, in that 1 year time frame. But we're not having a conversation about that. Still doesn't follow the dating pool you have on screen. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about this dating pool. I'm giving you what I think is like. I already said that. Like, once you hit 25, the acceptability does not matter. There's no half your age plus 7. There is no fucking 25 At this point, people are just countering you just for the sake of an argument. Most of the kids arguing probably had their parents dating with an age gap of 3 to 4 years at 18. Yeah, that's the other part of the equation that we're not even having a conversation over. But like, literally, I guess all of your fucking parents groomed one another too. Like, but whatever. It's already on LSF. Hassan struggles to say 18-year-old dating a 14-year-old is weird. Yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I fucking hate these conversations, because like you don't actually want to have a nuanced conversation. You just want to fucking be like, you literally just want to clip chimp something and then post it on LSF so you can get that sweet, delicious karma. Always. And they use a double S Hassan. It's an automatic self-report. I'm glad. I hope you get your delicious internet points, you dumb fuck. Anyway, let's finish this video.
It had happened as like Q4 2019 instead of giving us an actual date. And dude, I'm shocked.
17 and below is considered a minor. Minors cannot consent. That's easy. That's as easy as it is. Seriously, Hasanabi. Oh, no, it's not as easy as it is, dumbass. That's why there's Romeo and Juliet laws, and that's why there's literally fucking the age-old argument of like, what if I'm in a relationship and I'm drinking and I'm drunk and so is my girlfriend? Are we raping one another? Like, it's never that easy. It's never that black and white. It's that black and white if you've never fucked and you have never had a relationship. So you are just trying to literally like Encyclopedia Britannica a fucking conversation that is very complex and interpersonal.
You know, like I can no longer say with any confidence that I believe Carson's behavior has ever stopped. You know, I can't take his word for it anymore. When I came to this realization a few weeks ago, I'd cut ties with Carson and started talking to the other guys about how best to go about this. And I got to hand it to Noah and Travis for stepping up and talking about it first. I feel for all the victims here. And to know that that more people could have been hurt this year while Carson and I were friends, and while I continued to associate with him, and while I believed that he was on the right path, that fucking kills me. You know, I hope all of them have gotten and continue to get the help they need.
I said this already, and I will repeat it again. 18 to 14 is fucking weird, okay? Like, immediately, the person that jumped on the LSF comment literally went and said, what about, so someone in 8th grade with a fucking college freshman? It's like, yeah, that's insane, okay? Jail. If you're a fucking freshman in college, okay? If you're a freshman in college and you're dating a fucking 8th grader, yeah, illegal and also jail, okay? Shut the fuck up.
They need to get through this because this is a recurring problem now of content creators who take complete advantage of and manipulate the people that care about them the most. I don't think Carson's a pedophile, but that's what he did. He used his power to repeatedly take advantage of vulnerable people. I don't know what causes this to happen. I don't know what compels content creators to do this, but it happens. And it's a big fucking problem. And as cliche as it is for me to say this, I really hope Carson gets the help that he very, very clearly needs as well. That's about all I have to say. Thank you all for listening, and be well.
Anyway, but that was the reason why I didn't fucking have like any additional takes on the matter, because I don't know what the fucking exact situation is. But if his closest friends and his peers thought that it was fucked up, they probably have access to a lot more information than we do. Okay, that's how it works. So I'll wait until there is further developments. Okay, I'll wait to see what Carson has to say about the situation as well. Yes, the gameplay was trash. Who gives a fuck? That's not the point. Okay? Then why is he at their house now? I don't know, motherfucker. Why are you asking me? I work in a school, and yes, there are kids that look older than they are, but none of them are mature enough to date someone that's 18. Absolute corny. What are you talking about? So you're in high school, and there's like other fucking high schoolers at your high school, and they're not mature enough to date someone that's 18 who also is high school age? Like, what? What is this take? Like, what are people saying right now? This is what I mean. It's like so fucking dumb. They're a teacher Okay, it doesn't change anything.
19 months, let's go.
Anyway. The terminally online, forget there's real nuance to it. Yeah. Like, Chatter unironically asked me what a random person that I don't really fucking know at all is doing at another content creator who I do know in their house. Why would I know that? Like, they're thousands of miles away from me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Why would I know the details of why Carson is at fucking Misgif's house? Okay? Why would I know that? Why are you looking to me for such, like, specific details? Wait, Absolute Corny doesn't even work at a high school. They work at a middle school. What? Yeah, no shit, middle schoolers can't date 18-year-olds. What the fuck kind of take is that? I agree. That's why I said context is a necessity. Yes, if you're in fucking middle school, you can't be fucking dating 18-year-olds. Like, no one thinks that that's acceptable, okay? Miss DM'd you the reason? Check DMs. No, he did not.
Thanks for the great content.
Anyway, we have to stop, dude. We have to stop. It's just like, I don't want fucking people to think I'm a goddamn libertarian.